If not, your class period and the period before you, because it's discrete. So if you miss some sort of notes, it's probably recorded. I probably already put it on YouTube. I probably posted the link to Google Classroom. I tend to be that kind of person. If I'm absent, I tend to do the same thing. If there's something I need to say to you, it's already on Google Classroom in a YouTube video. You just watch it, see me do the notes. Kind of nice. And I'm able to do that with my hover cam. Yep, and we're going. Okay, so first things first, what you actually need for discrete. Fully acknowledge your seniors. Perfect timing. Okay, fully acknowledge your seniors. Therefore, it's questionable that you're going to come prepared with all the things. Totally get it. Let's see. You're supposed to have a pencil. If you come before the bell rings and you tell me you don't have one, I will find you one. You should have a binder with some dividers, notes. Keep your math workshop, which we'll get to separate. I would want a section for my math workshop and notes, and probably a section for study guides. But I get I'm asking for a lot because you're a senior and life is a struggle. So you gotta have something to hold your junk in. I'm not even gonna care if it's just a folder. You need to have something. You probably should do a binder. I try to be nice, except for that back group of boys, because I'm sticking on my copies. But I try to be nice, and when I'm on my game, then I have the right amount of copies, and they tend to already have the holes punched. So it should be easy to go straight in a binder. I tend to be handout queen, so if there's something you're going to need for the day, it will be on the podium. You grab it when you come in, like that Who I Am handout. When you get done with something and you need to turn it in, like that Who I Am handout at the end of class, you'll put it in the drawer. I don't know your names yet. Names are a struggle for me. That's going to be the hardest part. It was really sad, but names are a struggle for me. So until I get your names, by God, you need to make sure it's in the right drawer. Because if I need to know your name. Yes.
My name is Blake.
Blake. I'm going to reference you a lot. Okay. If Blake does not put his stuff in the 6th period drawer and he puts it in 5th or 7th, I don't know that. I don't have time to figure out his life. I don't have time for that. So he's probably not going to get the grade he wanted then. I understand you may not want to get colored pencils or markers. The cool thing about discrete is that we do a lot of coloring. Sounds crazy, but it's true. I tend to have colors and markers, but let's say Brittany, right? Okay, let's say Brittany's picking. When it says pink, and it says hot pink, she won't say hot pink, not just a normal pink. She's picky about her colors. Then if she's going to be that kind of picky, I'm not going to appease her with my colors. She needs to bring her own. But if you're just like, whatever, red would do, it's close enough, then you can use my colors, trust me. Okay, line paper or graph paper. How are you coming into class without paper anyway? That is beyond me. The good news is I have paper. If you've noticed, there are, at every group, there is a thing with drawers. The first drawer, and if you ever forget, it's on that list up there. The first drawer has a tissue and a hole punch. So the poor boys in the back who didn't get holes punched in their syllabus, hey, you can with the hole punch. It's in drawer 1. Drawer 2 has pens. Drawer 3 has paper and graph paper. I am this person. I'm trying to be nice and let you use my stuff. But if Blake, I'm going to pick on Blake because I don't think Brittany would do this. It doesn't seem like Brittany. If Blake, he used my pens and he does not put my pens back in my pen holder, why am I going to let Blake use my stuff anymore? I'm not. So he's going to put his stuff back where it goes, or he's going to be on my nerves. Okay, a calculator would be nice. I have some scientific calculators. I have some graphing calculators that you are welcome to use when you're with me. However, you can't take it with you. They're mine. The only bad news about that is that I let other classes use them too. So especially when we talk about matrices and harder stuff, you work so hard to program something in. You worked so hard on that, and someone came in and messed with your matrix, or they changed the calculator settings, or they did something, and you just used it yesterday, and now today you're getting all the wrong numbers. That's why I would want my own calculator that no one else touches, but, it is just what I think. Okay, there is good news and better news. In the textbook section, we don't have anything to write in. We're not going to use a textbook, so I'm going to put... we use a textbook, but I'll show you it in just a second. You're going to be like, that's not a textbook. We're going to leave it in here. leave in here. I will show you those now. So you will, if it's a textbook day, you'll know because I'll have something written on the board that says like page 15, 1 through 8, or whatever it is you're supposed to do. And when I say 1 through 8, you're like, oh man, that's not all the problem. Each problem takes a bit of time. They tend to be those problems with the sub parts and stuff. And just because it's 1 through 8 doesn't mean it's going to be fast. You lose because 5th period happened first, so they're going to be the top shelf. You're going to be the second shelf, 6th period. That makes sense. You're going to find your book and go do what you need to do. But again, Keyshawn knows I'm not going to pick up after him. I'm not his mom. I'm going to leave his book at his desk. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get his grades and stuff. He needs to make sure his book goes back here. So when I come back here and I sit back here and grade everybody's page 15, I can see it. So that's why it's going to stay in here too. Because if he took it home, man, when I'm grading, it's not going to be over here. So unless there's an extreme circumstance, like Brittany knows she's going to be absent for a week. She's already told me about it. I already know. Then I would say, okay, you can take yours home. But otherwise, unless there's that extreme case, the textbooks stay in here. Okay. Oh, but the cool thing is, and what I should have showed you inside the textbook, that was the cool part, is that, that you can write in them. It's not, when I say textbook, it's more of a workbook. It'll have a picture or something, and it'll ask a question, and you can write all of them. Like, this is yours. There are pages like this. I have to flip to a coloring page. You would color in the book. You actually, it is yours. It is yours, but I'm holding it hostage. Yes, dear.
How often do you assign stuff in the workbook?
Pretty often. In fact, I pass out that course outline to a lot of people. If you wanted to ask me later, like I think chapter 1 starts there. So there's a few chapters we don't start, but for the most part, we work straight through the textbook. Okay. That's a good question. Okay. She asked, how often do we work? We're not going to start off using the textbook, and once we get to it, like you'll be like, every day we go in there and use the textbook. Like we will use it until we're done. Well, when I say we're done, I mean like our brains are done. Not the book is ended. It's just our brains have reached that point where we need to take a break from it. Okay, my email you probably need to know. It's leah.compton. Like straight out of, at acsboe.org. I check my email. If you have a problem, you're going to be absent for a long time, or you just want to let me know, hey, I need to leave 5 minutes early for this. Not because I got to go to work, like, my God, get your life together. But you have legit things you need to talk to me about. You can email me. Email me. Okay, I need to know your name.
Greg.
Greg?
Greg.
Great. I did. Grant. Why am I messing this up today? Grant's an easy one. It's not complicated. Grant, bless your heart since I blew that you picked. Expectations or course content?
Course content.
Okay, this is the part where I'm going to hurt Grant's feelings, and I'm not even trying to. I just decided I normally pretend to just love every class, and it is the best, and I just love you guys. I'm just not even going to lie to you. Discrete, my least favorite class. It is. Why? Great question. What I'm going to write under course content, it looks like fun. Like, this can be okay. I can do this. And it's not going to be that bad, and as long as you work with your group and you try real hard, you should be fine. But is it actually going to help you when you go to college or when you go on to become a mechanic or whatever it is you're going to do? Not so much. I don't think Discrete is that useful of a course for a high school senior. It's more of a computer theory, graph theory thing. So if you're into graphic design or programming or something down that avenue in life, then this class is for you. Like, we're going to talk about stuff that deals with that. Like the ones and zeros with binary. We're going to go back to that. And if you're like, my God, I have no desire to know about that. I know, me either. But that is what we discuss in Discrete. It just is what it is. I can't change the content. So Discrete's my least favorite class because I don't think you need what we're going to talk about. I think you should have taken geometry. If you took algebra 2 with trig, that's how you ended up with me. If you had taken connections, you could have gone to algebra with finance. If you already had algebra 2 with trig, you can't back up to algebra with finance. I think it's more useful. In finance, they talk about, like, how to fill out your taxes, or how to buy a house and get a loan. Like, things that I think you need in life. That sounds useful. And discrete, we're talking about, like, coding? What? So, I just think it could be more useful. I think there are more useful classes out there. I even think analytical math is another class out there that would be more useful with topics you might actually use in life than discrete. But if your, like, goal was for you heard this was the easy A, which if you actually try and work hard, then it is, then I understand. But most people say they want the easy A, and then about that third 9 weeks, fourth 9 weeks, they're so happy for that D. They're just thankful to be alive, I guess. I don't know what happens. Okay, so he wanted to know what we're going to talk about. I'm going to write there is an umbrella of real world topics. What's bad about any time the math teacher says real world topic? What is that? Word problem. It means you're going to have to read things. And the book is so funny. It tries to be cute and have cute names, do cute things, and it just makes you even madder. You're like, why did you name it this? Golly. We are going to talk about a variety of topics. Some of the ones we're going to talk about, obviously, it's all listed on that unit sheet course outline I gave most of you. I got to give the rest of you. But some of the concepts we're going to talk about is counting techniques. Yes, I realize you can at least count to 10 because you have fingers. But we're talking about large amounts, how to count them quickly. We're also going to talk about matrices. I know you spent a lot of time on matrices in Algebra 2 with Trey. We're going to stay on the data storing side and do mostly stuff with calculators with them. That's the good news. But there is going to be a little more than you did in Algebra 2 with Trig. We are going to talk about, I don't know if you talked about inverses or not. We are going to get to that. We're going to do something with a specific equation called a recursion, which just involves patterns. We're going to do some graph theory, which is not your normal quadratic, like I already learned about all these kinds of functions. Not that kind of graph theory. Our graphs tend to be, we call them paths and circuits, like here are a bunch of dots, figure out how to get from here to here using a minimal number of lines. Or you might be given a picture, figure out how few of colors you can use to color each thing. We also do some social choice. At the end of last year, when my seniors were done, and they really weren't interested, and it was rather sad that they weren't interested because it was really interesting, we were discussing voting techniques. For instance, is it fair to declare him the winner because he got 51% of the vote when she got 49%? Like, is it fair if there's that close of a discrepancy? So it's just different ways to tally votes and how to decide who the winner is and who the loser is. And then, of course, we're going to do some game theory. So none of that sounds horrible. And none of it is that awful. I mean, there are some hard problems, but it tends to be the harder sections the more I let you work with your group. But does any of that seem super useful to you as you go on to graduate high school? Not so much. Okay, expectations or Google Classroom? You choose.
Expectations. Oh, sorry. Oh, were you talking to her?
Her.
Oh,
yeah.
But she agrees with you. Expectations. Okay, so you don't know me other than the fact that my name is Miss Compton. So we should, before I even tell you about myself, really once I describe my expectations, you're going to know me better than most people do. Okay, we need to discuss the bathroom passes. And how I feel about you leaving the room. We need to discuss makeup work. Let's be honest. We need to discuss you and your tardies. And we need to discuss, and this is going to be a strange one, number strips. number strips. Bathroom passes. I have passes by the door. There's a bathroom pass for the boys, for the girls, to the office, to the nurse. If Keyshawn asks me, like, can I go to the bathroom? And as long as I'm not in the middle of a rant, I'm going to say yes. Let's add some addendums, though. He always comes back in like 2 minutes tops. He never takes forever. Ever. If he's going to go somewhere else, he tells me, hey, can I go to the lunchroom? I left my lunchbox. Sure, you may go to the lunchroom and get your lunchbox. He still gets all his work done. He doesn't ask me every single day. He asks me, you know, just every once in a while. Then I'm, of course, going to say yes to him. As long as you're not I call it on my nerves. As long as you're not on my nerves, I'm going to say yes. Just don't be on my nerves. And I tend to be at that point in life where I tell you, like, hey, Keyshawn, you are on my nerves. You have asked every single day to go to the bathroom, and I'm so over it. You need to go before this class. And I will just tell you how I feel. But for the most part, I really don't care. Now, Keyshawn knows one way to get on my nerves. I don't know if he remembers it. Do you remember how to get on my nerves? With the passes. Yeah, you could leave them. That would definitely get on my nerves. Another way to get on my nerves, in case you can't tell from my room being just so, would be to leave your pass like this. I know that sounds tiny. I know you don't understand. Maybe you do. But like I like my stuff in my drawers a certain way, I like my passes a certain way. Brittany does not want to have to go back and fix the pass after she sat down. I know that's stupid, but I will tell her, I'll be like, Brittany, pass. You in the pass, and I don't know why. The passes just get me. So if you take my pass, put my pass back the right way. I should have made them double-sided so I would never have to have this discussion to begin with, but I didn't because I'm not that smart. Okay, makeup work. I post everything that you need to know in Google Classroom. If we did notes that day, I post a video of me in Google Classroom. If we worked in the textbook that day, I say, hey, we worked page 15, and I tell you what numbers on Google Classroom. So you should know from Google Classroom. Now, if there's a handout you need, like, for instance, Keyshawn lost his syllabus, he needs a new one, he would go get the Discrete crate, because he is in Discrete class, he is that good. What's today's date? He would find the 9, he would look inside that file, he would pull it out, and knowing me, I'm so good that it probably has his name at the top, so he knew it was for him anyway. So if you miss something, you're supposed to get a handout, it's going to be here. I have a calendar here and a calendar there to remind you of the days. So if he missed last Monday and he just can't remember the dates, by God's surely he can count back and figure it out on his own. If he turns in makeup work, I tend to like everything you've ever done and you're supposed to hand to me, unless it's that book because it's not going to fit in the drawer. I tend to ask you to put it in that 6-period tray. However, makeup work, if I were you, I would put here. You're wanting me to grade it quickly, right? I would put it. This is where absent work is supposed to go. I will grade it more quickly if it's there. That's going to be my priority stack. You don't want to be with the normal stack. You want yours to be priority because knowing me, you missed class. I've already typed in that 0 for what you missed. You would really like me to fix that 0. Okay, there was something else that makeup work. My least favorite question is, besides are we going to do math today, which seems kind of pointless in my class, is, what did we do yesterday? Figure it out. It's somewhere out there in the world. Figure it out. Don't ask me. I'm making it available to you. Figure it out. Okay, if you fall asleep during my class, I know she's taking good doodle notes. She's actually being very good. But from over there, while she's asleep, I will throw stuff at you. Just so you know.
Yes, I love teachers.
Now, if it's been a long day and I just don't give a rip, like I might let you, but are you going to bank on that? No. Okay, Google Classroom. Again, I'm posting everything on here. If Brittany's going to be absent for a week, she's going to need all she needs from Google Classroom probably. She might need to ask me for the textbook, but besides that, like Google Classroom is the way to go. So even though I have the code on a poster behind you, on the pink, they're pink, and even though we're writing it on the syllabus, someone in the room is not going to join my Google Classroom. I'm not your mama. I used to take the time to figure out who you are. I'm not going to figure that out. Please just don't be this dumb. I swear, I use Google Classroom the way you use Facebook, Instagram, fill in whatever social media you use. I use Google Classroom. Okay. Let's talk about, okay, you can decide now. You've been wanting to decide. Do you want, homework or quizzes and tests?
Just homework.
I knew she was going to pick homework.
What's that called?
9RDWHC. Okay. I knew she was going to pick homework. This is going to make your whole day.
No homework.
This is what I'm going to write. I'm not going to put no homework. I'm going to put shouldn't happen unless, you always got to add the unless. Exactly. I'm going to rephrase it a little nicer than that and say unless group unmotivated. Now, there are days where I'm wrong. I might say to everyone in the room, we're in your group, we're doing page 15, 1 through 8. Every single group works the whole time. Every single group tries. Every single group gets to about number 6, and that's it. And I'm going to say, it's okay, guys. We'll pick up at number 6 tomorrow. But if I assign 1 through 8, and every group of Brittany's gets to number 8, then something went on in Brittany's group. Why did every other group get done, but not Brittany's group? Because I'm walking around trying to help them keep it on track. So, just throwing that out there, you shouldn't have homework as long as you and your group are working together. And then you let me, this is my 5th time saying my syllabus stuff out loud today, so I've skipped things now. I never talked about how I felt about tardies. I'm going to mark you. I know your senior in life is hard. I know I had some with a lot last year. I think they're going to crack down on them more. I mean, it is what it is in life. If you're tardying a lot, you're probably going to have to take the final exam. Yes, ma'am.
But you understand if what long is recording?
Yes, because you're telling me that in advance. So when you're a minute or 2 late, I'm going to understand. 5 minutes late, well,
Yeah.
Yes. Totally going to understand that. Your goal would be to not be tardy. We'll talk about math workshop in just a second. Basically, I start, like I did today, I start as soon as I can, and I tend to run the whole time. So you're going to miss out if you're tardy. Number strips is the last thing I didn't go over, and I just mentioned your group being motivated, which is how I got to number strips. I swear we'll spend more time on it next week to make sure we're all on the same page. But basically, in Discrete, you work with your group. If you're not good at working with a group, and when I say a group, I mean any group. It can be random sometimes. It's not, I may occasionally let you pick your friends, but normally it's going to be like this, random ABC order, or I have a random number generator. Random people. If you can't work with random people, you probably don't want to stay with me. I expect you to work with random people and get over it and figure out how to work together. What we're going to do to keep, to make sure you're getting some points for, my God, work with people, surely you should get some points for that, is a number strip thing. You'll put everyone in your group's names. So let's say I have Brittany and Grant, and then I'll be in the group too. And then we're just starting off our day. And I'm going to borrow your pencil. We're starting off the day, and Miss Compton asked us a question, and we answered it, and she was really excited, and she said, give your group a point. So we got a point. And then she walks around and checks on all the groups, and we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing and working along. She says, give your group another point. Oh, man. Awesome. And then she walks around and asks us a question, and we knew the answer. Oh, man. It's going great. That's how a normal day should go. You should just go up to 5 points. Heck, you could probably talk me into more than 5 points and get bonus every day. I can totally see that happening with some groups. But what's going to happen is, well, there's going to be the overachiever groups, and then there's going to be I walk back around, nobody's working, people are playing on their phones. I walk back around for the bajillionth time, you're still in the same problem. I'll walk back around and ask you an easy question that you should know the answer to. I mean, like a gimme question. Nobody knows the answer. And the next thing you know, you're in the negatives. And the negatives is a scary world to be in. Because what that's saying is, not only did I not gain my points for today, I'm starting to take away my points that I earned yesterday. That is ridiculous. You never want to be in the negatives. Worst come to worst, you want to end up in a 0. So we're going to just make that an easy, if it's 5 points a day, max. So we're going to, well, theoretically, I'm willing to go higher. We're going to say it's a 25-point grade a week, just for participation. You were alive. You weren't just alive. You participated in Discrete. You may not have been a genius, but you tried real hard. You should get a perfect score. If you didn't try real hard and you just sat there and played on your phone, your grade's going to start to suffer. Because not only is your grade's going to suffer because of the number stress, but like your work's not going to be done too. So then you got a double whammy, and Lord Jesus, it's going to be bad. Okay, I realize people are going to cheat on the number strips. I realize I'm going to have to keep up with the number strips in my head. If this group should really be at 2, I don't know why he marked 5. I realize I'm going to have, I got this. Okay, I cannot stand the blank box, so I'm going to write a little something in here that is probably going to break your heart. So the good news is there's not supposed to be any homework in here. The good news is that you don't have to take the textbook home. The good news is you just have to work with your group most of the time. The bad news is, if there was only like a major bad news thing of the day, is that there is a math workshop test. Okay, Miss Covenant, I don't even know what a math workshop is. Okay, longest time we called them bell ringers. Bell ringer this, bell ringer that. You come in the math class, you're supposed to be you were supposed to be working on something. Maybe it was something silly. You didn't do it, or you saw the teacher said the answer was B, so you wrote down B. You really didn't care. You were just trying to get by. Oh my gosh, she wants so much from you. Now I want even more. We're going to call it, we're going to rename it, because bell ringer just obviously got a bad connotation now, so we need to give it a better name. Math workshop. I'm recording now, so I'll get off that. Okay, so it's called a math workshop, and maybe we'll do solving equations the first 9 weeks. So every single day we're practicing solving equations, and then eventually there's going to be a test. Like, we did that for the first 5 minutes every single day. My God, surely you can do it on a test now. So it's not going to be, I'm not going to say it's a hard test, but it's harder than usual. Because it used to just be an easy bell ringer test. What was the answer to number 2 on 8-9? And you would say, oh, it was B. What was the answer to number 3 on 8-10? So this actually does require your brain, like, hey, solve this similar looking equation. So if you were going to be tardy, then you're going to miss math workshop, because I'm going to start talking. I'm not waiting on you. And so you're going to do poorly on the math workshop test, and every single math class is putting the math workshop test in the 60% category. That's going to be 1 every 9 weeks. Okay, knowing me, if you want to add this, you can. I'm not going to write it down. I just say my thoughts out loud. Knowing me, I feel sorry for you, and I like that gimme grade of what was number 2 on 8-9. I do. So I'm still probably going to have something like that at some point. You know, did you breathe on 8-11? I just need to know. Did you? So I will probably have an easy, and I think gimme one as well, not just the hard one. Okay, are there any questions about this so far? Quizzes and tests. The only thing I would want to add is no notice, quiz, or checkpoint. I tend to let you know if there is a quiz coming. I tend to, but I don't have to. I don't have to say, hey, Keyshawn, we're taking a quiz tomorrow. It could just happen. Checkpoints can happen at any time, and I don't know if you've done them, so let me explain them. It's normally 3 or 4 questions in Discrete. It tends to be 1 or 2. 1 or 2 questions relating to our lesson. You should be able to answer quickly. You bring them to me, and I look at yours, and I say, number 1's right, number 2's wrong. You go back. You bring me back. I say, number 2's right now. Good for you. Perfect score. Or I say, still not right. Fix number 2. And I'll probably be more specific and say, you know, I'll give you like a hint. And then we'll keep on at it. And surely you can get it, or eventually I'll give up, and we'll be out of time, and I'll say, you'll need to come to 0 period to finish that. But Brittany won't call her points, So as long as you're on it, I think it's on you. You ought to get a perfect score on all checkpoints. You ought to. I'm letting you do it as many times as you want. You ought to get a perfect score. If you don't have a perfect score on a checkpoint, that's on you. Okay. And then just because I feel like you have to be very particular with discrete kids, because they will call you out if you're not particular, I should probably add that you should also consider we might do projects or group assignments. If the concept is really hard, for instance, I remember giving a group matrices test last year. No, I had an easy, everybody all by myself matrices test, but like I had a really hard, all the concepts you don't want to think about on your own matrices test, and they got to work together with their group. If that happens, I'm still going to grade it like a for real thing and put it in the 30 or the 60 depending on what it was. Okay, if you flip to the back, I swear I'll keep the back side short and sweet. Tutoring extra help. You know I'm going to tell you to come to 0 period. I'm not going to write it down, but you know I would suggest, hey, did you check Google Classroom? If you're confused on example 2, go back and just watch the video on example 2. And then, of course, I'm going to suggest you email me. I go to bed around 8:30 or 9, so I'm an old lady in that way. But if you email me, I tend to respond day of. Send me a picture. I tried this. It didn't work. Can you help me? Even if it's an ACT kind of thing, because you're prepping for that, I can help you. Send it to me. Technology, I've learned to pick my battles. So what I'm going to say with Discrete is don't let your phone distract you. I realize you're a senior. I'm not going to take your precious baby away. I have the clear boxes that I make my other classes put their phones in so it won't distract them. But here's why I'm different with Discrete. In Algebra 2 with Trig or even in AP Stat, they can Google. They can Google it and they can find the answer. Discrete, good luck to you. If you Google it, it's going to show you college level discrete stuff to answer it. And it's going to whoosh over your head and make you sad. So just so you know, Discrete's not really a Googleable class, so I tend to not care. Now, are you going to lose points for your group if you're constantly on your phone? Of course you are. But otherwise, do I think you can really cheat with your phone in Discrete? Not normally. There are some topics that are exceptions, but when we get there, I'll be very specific, like, hey, no phones today. I know you can cheat on this one, so no phones. Okay, and then the other thing I would tell you is that I have a lot of technology, and I'm rambling too long, so I don't have time to go into it all. I have an e-beam, which you're not going to see today. It's the bomb. And then my hover cam is my baby. I can zoom in. I can zoom out. I can freeze. I can record myself like I am now. I can twist my camera and put it on you if I want to. I can twist it. You're upside down right now. Let me fix you. You're right side up. Like, I can do all the things. I've considered like watching you while I'm at home sick or whatever. I decided it would just break my heart, so I hadn't done it yet. I've considered it though. I tend to, when I'm absent, come in and already record myself. And again, it will be on the desktop, but it would also be on Google Classroom. So you just watch from your phone. Like, even though Miss Compton's not here, she's still teaching me today. I tend to be that person. I'm not going to read you my rules because you can read all the things. I'm a normal person. I love the yes ma'am, no ma'am. I'm born and raised in Calera, so I got the Southern manners thing down. Extra notes, obviously, for the beloved. Have you checked Google Classroom? If Brittany her syllabus just doesn't look as pretty as she wanted or whatever, she's wanting an extra copy of something, it's probably in the absent bin, the absent crate. And then I'm going to write phone a friend. But when I say phone a friend, I mean like he was absent yesterday. I'll pick on Grant. Grant was absent yesterday, so he asked his friend, can you help me with number 15? Not he copies his friends, but he asked him, can you help me with? I know I'm this smart. I know when I see you working with your group and you all have similar words, I know what that looks like. And I also know what it looks like when one person does the work and everyone else copies it. I know what that looks like too. You think I haven't seen the same number over and over and over again with no explain, like, how did you get 384? I don't understand. You think I get points for that? I don't. So when I write phone a friend, like, yes, but yes. I don't know. Okay, absences, 60, 30, 10, you know. I'm an overgrader. I grade everything. I'm telling you, I'm putting in a participation grade. Like, I put in grades. I'm a grade crazy person. You're going to be so annoyed at how quickly I type in that 0 when you are only a day late. That is just me. You will learn to appreciate that about me. Absences, I know you know the 3-day thing. What you don't know about is that I'm so smart this year. I'm going to stamp the date on things. So I'm going to pass it out to you, and it's going to have the actual date stamped on it. Then Grant says, well, I wasn't there. So is it really due for me? Grant, your piece of paper has the date stamped on it. I know you were there. You were there. It has the date stamped on it. And then I just want to warn you, I acknowledge that this is going to kick in. It will. Senioritis will kick in. But I'm telling you, I have a lot of people in the past 2 years who start off with the A, and then second 9 weeks, something happens and they get to the B. Third 9 weeks, they drop it to the C. And then fourth 9 weeks, they're so thankful for the D, they thought they were going to fail. What happened? It was supposed to be an easy A. Let's not fix, please God, let it be the easy A. You're making my life harder too. Let it be the easy A. Okay, are there any questions about the syllabus? Okay, we'll go over this tomorrow. Okay, bye. I swear I'll let you talk and everything tomorrow. Well, make it on.
I got Natalie.
Huh?
I got Natalie.
Yeah, but not you.
You want us to turn it like, we can teach over on finance.
Well, no, that's what Mr. That's what George is saying.
I was confused.
Yes, you put it in the picture drawer, and if you forget, you put it in tomorrow. I talk to you. That is my personal life. Okay, maybe not. We're mostly going to do get to know you stuff. If not, I'm going to post on the little classroom, so I would join.
I have a question.
One of the
I'm going to try.
So I didn't do well at all in algebra and Greek when I took it last year with Mr. Mullen. Well, I still be able to do this class like well. So it's like not entirely super.
No, even when we go back to matrices, I'm going to start back at the beginning. This is a matrix.
Thank you.
This is how we add them. This is how we subtract them.
Okay.
At some point, you will be bored.
Yeah, I'm not the best with numbers. Like, I'm really good at geometry and shapes and patterns and
You'll
stuff.
probably like this more. It's not necessarily a lot of numbers. It's more of thought process and just thinking through their pattern. This is more critical skills.
Okay.
I feel like this is going to be your kind of range.
Okay, that's what I was hoping for when I took it. I wasn't sure because they had analytical math and discrete math. I wasn't sure which one was
I
which.
think this will be your thing, but is it useful for like that?
It's another credit that I can do without
Many skills are never bad. Maybe that's why. You're welcome. You too.
Oh, these are our names. No. Oh, this is for R7. It's crazy. At least I'm six. What? Oh, yeah.
I stole her pen. Put her in anytime.
Woohoo! Bye.
Are you presenting?
No. Sorry. What?
Oh, we are?
No.
Follow-up question, are these seats set in stone?
No, but you're going to amuse me for now because I speak in names.
Okay.
But in your favor, there are only 14 of these. So how long does it take to learn 14 names?
I'm
Are you
25
called
here.
baby? Go turn that one off then. Go turn it off. And I already know Jana because I've had her before. So really, I've only now learned 13 names. So how long does it take me to learn 13 names? That's the true
Well,
question.
actually, like, he has like 4 names, so, let me see right here.
Oh, I'm right here? Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I tell you right here.
You clearly didn't listen to the instructions.
Under
it says,
Crandall.
It says get a piece of paper off the podium by the door.
And now I'm
Well,
already
first I gotta
doing
read the
that.
instructions. Excuse you.
I listened to the instructions, did you?
No, she didn't tell me instructions. I gotta read them first. Come on. Yeah, my
You guys
dude.
roasted me, you went on.
Who I am? Who am I? So you'd have to know who I am to like fill this out first. Here's also
Passing is time.
Is he recording? You're in this class?
No, your seat's right there.
Oh, man.
Where? Jackson Gordon?
Oh, we're alphabetical? That's neat.
Right
Oh,
there.
here I am.
You gotta learn my names. Yeah, we're alphabetical.
Yeah.
B, G, F. You see how I'm going?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Like what? Oh, there, right here.
What?
Yeah.
This one definitely.
Yeah.
Where am I? Right
Can
here.
we Shalia Johnson?
If I knew those names,
We wouldn't have to say it.
if I knew the names, I'm gonna sit there. The only one I know is Jana.
Between you and me, I hate everyone at my table.
What do you think? Full name.
Wow.
Sorry.
Julia.
I love how they're very specific to have crowns.
name that I
Yeah.
missed on the way
Did
here.
you read the board?
I'm so worried already.
I'm not
Over
worried.
podium by door.
I'm so worried already.
The
There are
bicep.
14 people I need to pass the test,
What?
and they don't read directions on the board. Oh Lord.
Ultra.
Oh Lord.
Favorite math class and why? Any class in this semester, to be honest. I love this semester.
Jackson.
It was so good.
Julia, is Jackson with you?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I was looking at other videos. I was back there.
Yeah. You just-
Isn't it blessed that they finally fixed it because it was 6th and 8th?
You
Yeah,
missed
that was
that.
confusing me.
Who's the dilemma?
But these somebody does like this in the school?
I don't know.
I've never
These
seen
are
us like
sample
this.
tests, so we were trying them out, but I don't know why they actually purchased. They just didn't do a sample test. And I was like, please, I'm really able to play in band.
I think it's really turned out, man.
Figure out context losing on
This
hand.
looks real.
Graduating class.
That's a weird tomorrow.
Yeah.
28th flew tomorrow. Yours.
Yeah,
She's still like figured it out. She's still like figured
Yesterday,
it out.
yesterday.
What?
Gotcha. Places I have lived
Oh,
here.
wait, what are you
Oh,
doing?
Russell, it's the-
Sorry, I-
Oh.
I think your hair is the least accurate part of that, though. To be honest.
Well, I can't tell here.
I've just been sitting here.
You're right. You got me good.
Larry, I think I've been through my color blindness every time. No,
This is not I like that.
Okay, I'm already concerned by the lack of reading skills. I just want to throw that out there. Like, y'all are making me nervous in this day, and my gosh.
I mean, my
See, I like looked at it, but I didn't process it.
I mean, like, the thing is, though, like, my instinct is to go to the board.
What do you
Like,
think
oh, dude,
we're
this
gonna
is
do in
stupid.
here? Read word things and then do things about them, and you didn't read the word things, so we're already off.
What,
I'm thinking we're going to do this syllabus.
yes, I know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if I could just start, I would. That's what I thought.
It's my family. There's a lot. I have so much family, I don't think it'll fit in this box, so I have to.
No.
Dog count is down.
No?
No.
I'll put mom.
There's a lot.
Place that I live.
Yes, baby doll.
Look up to Mr. White by default.
Amber?
You're not Amber.
You're Amber?
Yeah.
Amber.
That's Jared.
That's Jared? Then Amber didn't read.
Pets. Yes, early for a little bit.
Does someone know where Jared sits then?
Right here.
Okay, perfect. That makes perfect sense.
The compliment I'm proud of.
Being born.
Anything
Being
that
born.
happens.
I didn't. It's not that I am.
Like, saying their answer out loud. I'm sure it's really annoying to read anywhere.
Yeah, it's I don't remember you.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm there too.
But I'm proud of.
Okay, I'm super excited and I cannot wait to use all my words with you. So you've got about 3 minutes to finish your Who I Am thing.
Oh man.
And then you can eventually come back to it. Eventually. No. It can be a stick person, I don't care.
Mine's a stick person with muscles.
I can't draw, so I would just do a circle and eyes.
Make a concert band.
Miss Compton,
Yes, ma'am.
I need Jana Whitehead to check out.
Yes, ma'am. Jana, it's the first day.
I mean, I wish I had that.
Where you got to go? What you got to do?
I've never had a dad.
I need you to get it together. I got something else to say.
Thanks, Jackson. You're an inspiration. I'm going to go Jackson, word person I look up to.
She's about to miss so many of my words. Oh yeah, I'm gonna record. It's gonna be okay.
I'm camera shy. Give me a second.
I'm microphone shy.
You just smell like film. I'll do it for shy now.
Accomplish it.